Hello everyone, this is going to be a quick video to update the people who don't already know what the upcoming competition details are. The next competition starting on June 10, 2025 will feature the present box meta, which is a pretty difficult one. It is comparable to stack box. Some of us are calling it the second stack box because there are a good amount of items that are required to make this. Technically, it's not as hard as stack box. So the present boxes will require 1 wine case, 1 decorated cake, 2 chocolate bars, 2 cheese, and 1 Chardonnay grapes, with the wine case and decorated cake being the hardest items to make here. But you still need to make more space to make those chocolate bars and the cheese. So that's going to combine a lot of different buildings in order to actually make the present boxes. You also need boxing facilities to make those present boxes. The craft time is somewhat high compared to other items in the boxing facility at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And let's take a look at the cash boosts. The cash boosts for this competition are wine cases and decorated cake. The cash boosts for those are very small. I'm not even going to mention the numbers on those. You also have chocolate bars boosted going from 12,000 to 150,000 and cheese going from 13,000 to 150,000. The cash boosts on both of those are pretty good, but for most people it doesn't matter because by the time you get to that point you could almost be done with the build. And then the fifth cash boost here is Chardonnay grapes going from 810 to 24,300. That's a 30 times cash boost. That's actually pretty huge. So a Chardonnay grape cash rush strategy will work very well. You could potentially make about 1,000 Chardonnay grapes per hour. That would get you 24 mil cash per hour. So that would be a very good way to get all the cash that you need to finish this design. Or if you decide to go with another design, which we'll talk about, that could also work. And the present boxes, of course, being the meta, will give 150,000 stars for each one that you sell. Now the biome we are going to be given is a desert biome with a river on the south side, and this is what the starting biome actually looks like. They will start you off with a couple of Chardonnay vines, but they also start you off with oak tree farms. You would probably want to get rid of these. Make sure that your woodshed doesn't have any oak wood, because you do need wood to go into your woodshed or lumber yard for the farmers to take it to the vines in order to grow the grapes, and they do have a high craft time. So yes, if you want to go for the Chardonnay grape cash rush, then you do want to have a good amount of trees next to the river for your wood production, but also a bunch of Chardonnay vines, because once again they have a high craft time, so you would want a lot of them, and of course several farmer houses or tractor houses, and then you would want your gas setup to be close to the oil sea. Now in case I didn't mention it already, I will not have a build showcase for this competition, at least not before the competition starts. If I'm able to, I might actually put something together, but it won't be out until during or after the competition. And you might be wondering, well Dub, what's the point of that? Why show it after the competition ends? I have done it before, and it does serve a good reference just in case the meta does come back, or something very similar to it, or something more difficult than it, like a step above this, right? So it can help out people in the future, or at least show them what they could have done to improve their design a little bit more. Initially, I thought that you wouldn't be able to do that many present boxes. I was thinking maybe 3 per hour with no NFTs at all. Turned out I was wrong on that, so my bad, but it does turn out that some people actually gave it a shot, and they actually managed to get between 5 to 6 present box per hour. I suppose maybe even a little bit more than 6 is possible. Somebody did say they got to 6.3, but definitely seems like 5 per hour is possible for the present box rate without using any NFTs. Now I was thinking ice blocks would be a good alternative. You could do about 7,000 ice blocks per hour, and that would be a little over 3 present boxes per hour. However, if you've done ice blocks before, it does take a very long time to get the cash and the materials that you need to finish that build. Even with the nice cash boost that we're getting for Chardonnay grapes, it could easily take the entire day to do an ice block build. Although depending on which NFTs you have, it could still be more viable than present box, but it does seem like present box is going to be the better option if you want to be competitive in this competition. Now let's be honest here, this present box competition is not new player friendly. If you're a new player, you're probably not going to win this competition, and you can give it your best shot, but it's going to be very difficult to make the present box unless you're really good, right? But that's how it goes. Some of these competitions are really difficult and some of them are pretty pretty damn easy. And if you already know for sure that you're not going to win this competition, as soon as they release the next competition details, you really need to start practicing, because the people who get the most practice in usually do better. Now, I do want to make a video just focus on the offline mode topic, but I do want to mention it here as well. So you want to go to your settings in the top left right here, and if you don't already know, you can turn on Update Town Offline right here. You always want to have that on whenever you're doing competitions. That way, if you do go offline, say you exit the window or your power goes out, the next time you come on, it will fast forward your game depending on how many hours you were gone. However, there are some things you really need to know. Whenever you fast forward the game, it will take several minutes in order to do so. It's not an instant process. So if you weren't online for say 24 hours, it could probably take 10 minutes to finish fast forwarding. And if for some reason you were offline for like 60 hours, it could take like at least half an hour to fast forward the game. There could also be a disconnection in the process while you're fast forwarding, and you will have to try again for another half hour. So I do not recommend that you go offline for more than 24 hours. Yes, you do want to put Update Town offline, but you want to be fast forwarding your game at least every 12 hours or so it doesn't take so long to fast forward the game. And I've noticed that the longer it takes, the more likely you are to get disconnected and be forced to try to fast forward it again. And the last thing to mention is that when the competition ends and you were offline, it will not fast forward it for you. Any amount of hours that you spent offline before the competition ends, well, you essentially lost that progress. So yes, you always want to have Update Town Offline turned on. You don't have to rely on it, but it's still a good backup plan. Just make sure that you are fast forwarding your town at least every 12 hours or so, and you fast forward your town minutes or an hour before the competition ends, so you can make sure that you get all the progress that you were meant to get. Now, you can't actually trust the leaderboard until the competition ends, because everybody fast forwards in the last couple minutes. And hopefully I'll be able to explain that topic better once I make its own dedicated video for it. But yes, hopefully I gave you all the information that you needed for the upcoming competition, as well as some offline things that you should know if you don't already know them already. I probably could have made a build showcase before this competition started, but honestly, I pretty much took the weekend off. There was a party that me and my girlfriend had to go to on Sunday, totally forgot about that. And she also got the Nintendo Switch too, so we just ended up having fun and playing Mario Kart, Mario Party. Not to make excuses, but you know, it kind of makes sense. I just ended up spending time doing that. I had already finished my personal build for the competition, so I'm already ready for the competition myself. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, considering I don't have a build to show everybody right now, at least. If you think the competition is going to be way too difficult and you don't want to bother, it's completely fine if you want to skip the competition. But if you like the challenge and you want to figure it out while the competition is going on, then go for it. Okay, I think that's it. So I'll still be streaming the competition on Tuesday if you want to hang out and watch. Hopefully everybody lets me know what their plan is going to be. If you like the video, leave a like, leave a comment with any questions or feedback. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I have links in the description on how to support the channel, and as always, I appreciate your support and thank you for watching.